Ms. Moore, good morning. We're on record in 23 CR 12156. In this case, Ms. Moore, you pled no contest to a charge of simple battery alleged to have occurred on September 26th of this year. This is the time and place set for sentencing. Ms. Yao?
Thank you, Your Honor. We did try to make contact with the victim. Victim is not present today, so I am prepared to go forward. You want me to go forward?
I'm sorry, please go forward with your recommendation. I'm sorry.
No problem. So in reviewing the facts in this case, they're a little bit strange. It seems like there was a dispute over a cup of coffee, and then the defendant ended up throwing coffee on the victim, and then they started fighting. And during that altercation, the victim was bitten in the breast. So I don't know. I also reviewed some other notes, Your Honor, to where it looks like the court found the defendant was acting oddly in the courtroom. So I don't know where this behavior stems from. I would like to inquire to see if some drug treatment would be helpful for the defendant. But other than that, I'm going to recommend a 90-day suspended sentence for 2 years, that the defendant complete anger management, that she have no contact with the victim, obey all laws, and no alcohol or drugs if applicable. This is the first crime of violence in her criminal history record, just so you know.
All right, thank you. And just to correct things, now, when I was reading the PC sheet, I saw that the victim, Cheyenne Madeira, bit Ms. Ms. Moore on the breast. So I have it vice versa. And I'm reading in the main body of the paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentences down, Cheyenne bit her on the breast.
In the witness statement,
Yes.
Cheyenne Madeira, it says, I'm going to read directly, she also bit my boob.
Okay.
So that's where I got that
got it backwards. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Yao. Ms. Burning.
Your Honor, first of all, there's been no indication that there needs to be within the police report anything that would indicate drug treatment, strange behavior without any other indicia. I don't think we need to look at that. The standard no alcohol, no drugs clause, I think, is enough. I would be asking the court for a 45-day suspended sentence. My client, and I understand the recommendation for anger management, but I would just ask for 45 days, obey all laws.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Burning. Ms. Moore, is there anything you would like to say? You're not required to say anything at this point at all, but you're welcome to.
He had no right to get between me and my coffee. He had no right to get between me and my coffee.
All right. So it sounds like you take no ownership of this at all. 90 days, Washoe County Jail. I'll suspend that for 2 years. You will obey all laws. You will consume no alcohol or drugs without a prescription. You will have no contact with the alleged victim in this case, and you will also stay away from this location. Let me see where we are here.
Bold, aren't you?
You will stay away from
It was Sirius Casino.
Sirius, thank you, 241 North Virginia Street, Sirius Casino.
And Judge,
Yes, please.
it looks like previously, I believe the resisting should have been dismissed, but that did not happen on this case. So can I confirm that with you or Ms. Yao?
Ms. Yao?
That would be correct, Your Honor. I moved to dismiss if it wasn't dismissed already.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. White, for clarifying that. That will clear up the record. All right, good luck, Ms. Moore. Thank you.
I'm
Next
sorry,
item.
did you do that for 1 or 2 years, Your Honor?
2.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. City versus Andrew Jones.
Mr. Sampson, good morning. Mr. Sampson, you're here for first appearance. Yours is complicated also. You had misdemeanor court yesterday on a battery, a DUI, and a third charge. Ms. Bremer, help me out here.
I believe it was, I'm sorry, I had it pulled up.
Resisting without.
Resisting without.
Thank you. And then while you were here, apparently, the Florida Highway Patrol officer felt like there was probable cause to arrest you on these 3 new charges. I've read the complaint, and there is probable cause contained in this complaint. You're accused of 1 count of destroying or tampering evidence. That's a felony. Leaving the scene of a crash involving injury, that's a felony. And leaving the scene of a crash involving property damage, that's a misdemeanor. So you now have 2 felonies and a misdemeanor. These did allegedly occur before you were on bond in the other cases, but Ms. Bremer has advised me that she has evidence that you may have violated the conditions of your bond. So we're talking about the bond in the other cases. So Mr. Sampson, I'm going to deal with the bond in the new cases. Well, actually, let me go ahead and deal with the bond revocation first, because it kind of makes the other issue moot. Ms. Bremer, you want to be heard on that?
Yes, Your Honor. If the state could ask a few questions of the victim.
And this is the victim in the battery case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and so your name, ma'am? Ms. Sampson, come on up, please, because I want to make sure Mr. McDaniel can see and hear you also. So just stand right here, Ms. Sampson. And just to make sure we're clear, the case he came to arraignment on yesterday was a DUI, resisting without violence, and a battery. And you're the alleged victim in the battery case, and there was condition no contact on the bond when I first appeared him in that case. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. What I'm going to do is ask you to raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Okay, Ms. Bremer's going to ask you some questions.
Ms. Sampson, since the no contact order was put in place, has the defendant attempted to contact you in any way?
He has indirectly.
Okay, can you explain what you mean by that?
He has messaged my daughter.
And what did he message your daughter?
He said, good morning. Could you ask Angel what would be a good time to come get some of my tools and other things I need from under the shed? And then yesterday, I'm in town for court. I need to come get some of my tools. I rode by and saw my ladder was gone. I'd like to get most of it before more goes missing.
Okay. Did the defendant drive by your house?
Yes, he did.
Okay, and how do you know that?
I have a video.
You have a video, and what does the video show?
His truck riding by my house.
Okay. And does that coincide with the time that he spoke, or that he told your daughter that he went by and saw that the ladder was missing?
Yes, it does.
Okay, thank you.
Just a second, ma'am. Ms. Sampson, Mr. McDaniel may have some questions
Oh,
for
sorry.
you. Mr. McDaniel, any questions?
I don't have any questions, Your Honor.
Let me go back to that first one. So he allegedly texted your child that you have in common, who's an adult, or,
Yes, she's an adult.
and what did that text say?
Could you ask Angel what would be a good time to come get some of my tools and other things I need from under the shed?
Who is Angel?
Me. I go by Angel. I'm sorry.
Okay, so that's what he calls you as Angel.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, ma'am. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
Ms. Bremer?
Your Honor, given additional time, I believe the state will be able to prove that the defendant was also in possession of alcohol, but we do not have, after the order was imposed, but we don't have that at this time. However, the state does request that on the basis of violation of the no contact order that his bond be revoked.
What is the, you believe there's going to be some evidence that he possessed alcohol after he was on bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this other charge where he was supposed at the bar was before he was on bond, right?
Yes, Your Honor. The information that I have, if I can get my computer to work, we have an email, I believe, from Trooper Barge that shows a receipt in the defendant's vehicle with a purchase date. I'm trying to zoom in. Of September 29th, 2023, with the Beast Unleashed, which is an alcoholic beverage. And then there are also pictures of alcohol of those drinks, the Beast Unleashed in his vehicle.
Was the vehicle taken from him? How did they get the custody of the vehicle? That's what I'm asking.
Right. This is something that was submitted to Lawrence, so I haven't had
Okay.
direct contact with the trooper yet.
All right. Mr. McDaniel?
Your Honor, he's they're working through a tough time. You know, he's married, they're working through a tough time. I realize that. He's got an appointment tomorrow with Carrie Atkinson, you know, about a divorce and about, you know, these criminal charges and whatnot. Obviously, if he's held, he's not going to be able to see his attorney. He works as an HVAC employee. You know, I don't hear anything it sounds to me like he was just trying to be as respectful as he could. He needed to pick up tools and stuff. He didn't, you know, this is not anything that's out of the ordinary as far as the alcohol. I mean, you know, I don't know if he bought it from someone else or, I mean, it seems like kind of a stretch. It almost seems like they're, you know, someone may be going after him at all costs to try to figure out some way to go after him. He is accused of some crimes, but I mean, he deserves a right to go hire an attorney and defend himself against these crimes. And if he's held without bond, he's not going to have any chance to speak with an attorney and, you know, of his choice and try to, you know, to respond to these charges.
Okay. I know that we've got family members of Mr. Sampson in the courtroom. Does anybody have any testimony about this issue? I'm not revoking his bond. I'm not considering revoking his bond on the alcohol. It's not enough evidence there, but I am considering revoking his bond for sending a message to his wife, which he clearly was instructed, no contact with alleged victim, period. But if you know something about that, ma'am, I've got to place you under oath and make sure that Mr. McDaniel can hear you. So if you know something about that, you can come on up and I'll get your name and anything you know about it. Your name, ma'am? And you're Mr. Sampson's sister?
I am.
Okay, so tell me what you know about it, please.
About
him contacting
and
her or sending a message to their daughter to give a message to his wife, which if he did that is a violation of a court order.
Yes, sir. I don't know anything about him sending a message. What I do know is that the daughter is her daughter, not his. That is her daughter.
Okay.
They allowed him to come to a birthday party, or allowed him to come to a birthday party for a grandchild, and which opened, this was after the fact of what happened. So this daughter allowed Kenneth to come to a birthday party. So him sending her a message, you know, I don't know what the deal was or if the message was sent, but it's like they like allow him to do stuff and then use it against him is what I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Like, so y'all want him to come to a birthday party, but then he sends a message and now you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't really know. I know that I told him, I was the judge at first appearance. I told him no contact, period, in any form.
Right.
And that includes contact to a third person. So
Right.
if he sent a message to someone saying, tell your mama anything, no
Right.
matter who he sent it to, doesn't matter what he says, tell them,
Right.
that's sending a message. So let me
Yes,
ask
sir.
this question. She's also saying there's a video of him going by the house. The house on the complaint is in the Delwood community. Where's your brother living?
He's staying in Tallahassee and my other sisters,
Okay.
our other sisters.
And this supposedly happened yesterday.
That's my understanding.
Well, he was in court yesterday morning. So if he's staying in Tallahassee, it had to be before he came to court. And Delwood is not in between Tallahassee and Mariana.
Yes, sir. And
So he would have had to go, if he came from Tallahassee, he would have had to go outside of
Right.
Highway 90 corridor,
Yes, sir.
go by the home and then come to court.
Right. Well, and it's it was their house, like they're buying, this is,
I understand that, but he has a condition, no contact with her.
yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't know, honey. It just is a really messed up situation.
Thank you, ma'am, for being here
I'm
for your brother.
sorry.
No, I appreciate you coming for your brother.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. All right, Mr. Sampson, I'm concerned. You do have a prior homicide conviction. I'm concerned about the safety of Ms. Sampson. There's no way I'm going to let you out if there's evidence you violated my court order. No contact means no contact. It's very simple. It means what it means. No contact means no contact. So at this point, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to believe you may have violated the conditions of your bond. I'm going to hold you with no bond, at least until there could be a more thorough hearing if necessary. So, Mr. McDaniel, I would ask that you and Ms. Bremer talk about this issue. If there's a reasonable explanation for him going by the home, I'd love to hear it. And I don't want to make a final decision, but at least for the time being, I'm not going to allow him out because I don't have much faith Mr. Sampson's going to follow my court order. That will also give the state time to find out more about this alcohol receipt and other violations. But Mr. Sampson, I'm concerned. You went to prison. You did about 20 years. You got out. You're in no trouble for years. And now in a period of 2 months, you have 2 felonies and 4 misdemeanors pending from 2 different incidents. So something's going on in your life where it appears you're doing good, but in the last short period of time, you're on a bad track and your prior history is what it is. That certainly doesn't help you. So I'm going to set your bonds in the new cases. The 2 felonies, your bond will be $10,000. The misdemeanor, your bond will be $5,000, but you have no bond in the case that you already had pending at this point based upon the under oath testimony today. And that is in case number, I don't have a case number, but it's the one you were set for yesterday. So Mr. McDaniel, the ones he was set for yesterday, I know the offer was going to be probation. And I'm not saying that's still not going to be something that's considered at a next court date, but I want to give you and the state time to look more closely at these new allegations. The newer case appears to be very strong. I don't know much at all. All I've read is the complaint in both cases. The older case may not be as strong. Who knows? Mr. McDaniel, what court date would you like him set on in the misdemeanor
Your Honor,
cases?
I'm gonna just go ahead and interplead of not guilty on him and set him on the next jail arraignment date. I think that's October.
He came to arraignment and he was here. Do you still want him set for an arraignment date?
No, I'm gonna put him on the jail pretrial date. I'm gonna go ahead and
Okay,
interplead of not
okay.
guilty and put him on the jail pretrial date. The next one coming up in October. Dawn.
Okay, October the 11th is this court date. So
Okay.
Ms. Bremer, I need you to do your investigation because that may or may not affect the state's offer. And I know the offer was going to be probation before the new arrest, and that may or may not change that offer.
Yes, Your Honor.
I was going to accept the offer of probation. I had looked at it and I felt like it was reasonable before I found out about all of this. This frankly concerns me. The depth at which it's alleged that he went to cover up an accident where he hit a 16-year-old child in another automobile and appears to have shown absolutely no concern whatsoever for that young person is extremely concerning to me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was more concerned about covering up and getting his truck fixed and hiding it from everyone than he was about the health and welfare of that child, according to the complaint. So, Mr. Sampson, we're going to see you on that court date that Mr. McDaniel just said, and we'll go from there. Hope you have a good day, sir. Thank you all for coming, all of you.